Namaste, welcome back to your SVA kitchen. I know I say this every single time that I'm so excited because I have such a good recipe to share with you, but today I really am excited because I want to share something very special with you. Special in the sense that it's Ayurvedic and yet it will let you reminisce and rediscover the taste and flavors of your childhood. I mean, who hasn't had ketchup when they were growing up, with fries, on pizza, on pasta? It's so much part of who we are, who we were, that it's one of the hardest things to let go of once you get onto the Ayurvedic diet, and specifically the SVA diet with Vaidya Mishra, because we have learned that tomatoes are not good for you. They are acidic, they're hard to digest, they are very heating on deep tissue level. But it's not even just that, it's the fact that things like sauces, such as ketchup for example, have preservatives in them and they sit on the shelf for a long time, and food items that are like that are categorized by Vaidya as being dumb or dead, which means when they go in your body, they don't do anything. They don't get transformed into energy, they don't nourish your brain. Instead, they become toxic, and they become very virulently toxic. They can cause some damage instead of just sitting there and causing and blocking channels. So to be able to have ketchup and to enjoy it as well is actually a big gift, at least for me and all of you out there who still love to have some fries, which we have also done today. I have baked some taro root, some yams, and some sweet potatoes, and we're going to sample that at the end today. So let me show you how to make homemade ketchup. This ketchup will not last for months. In fact, you can probably keep it up to 6 days in your refrigerator. It has no tomato in it. This is my version of the ketchup. It has no artificial coloring. All you need are sweet tamarind pods, fresh ones, just like this. And we're going to use a few cranberries, fresh, frozen if you cannot find the fresh ones, some sugar, mom's masala, shruta shuddhi masala, olive oil, soma salt, a pinch of turmeric, curry leaves, ginger, and chilies if you like. Those are optional. The full recipe, of course, will be in our newsletter. If you would like to subscribe to our newsletter, you can go to chandika.com and sign in to become added onto our newsletter. So this recipe is very simple. The only one thing that you need to do to prep for this recipe is to soak the tamarind pods. Let me crack one open for you so you can see how we clean it up before soaking it. So this is what it looks like. Before you go ahead, you should always look closely at it to see if it has little holes or any fungus. A lot of times, because it's a fruit, you should refrigerate these ASAP, but sometimes still you get some pods that have fungus or have some bugs. So you should throw the whole thing out. Do not cut a piece and save the rest, because the whole thing will be contaminated. So we remove the fiber that coats it, just like this. And this is the part that goes into a bowl. And then you will put some room temperature water. It doesn't need to be hot water. At least 5 to 6 hours before needing to use this in order to cook it. So you can do it overnight if you like, the night before, and then in the morning they will look like this. They will be all swollen, and then it's very easy. Let me show you. You can just run your finger through it and the flesh will come off, just so. Sometimes it's easier than, sometimes the whole thing comes out. So here we go. The flesh comes off, and then here you have the seeds and you have the skin on top of the seeds, and you discard that. You can try to save, you won't be able to save all the flesh, but you can save as much as you can. So just go like this. If you like, you can still use the skin that covers the seeds, because we will be filtering the mixture, so you'll be able to filter that out as well, if you feel like it'll help you catch more of the flesh. Here we go. I'll do this piece as well. And then this one. Alright. So here we're going to add, you'll have the actual proportions in the newsletter, but in terms of a general idea, you want to put very few cranberries. We're adding cranberries because we want to add that tangy, sour taste. One of the reasons why ketchup is so desirable is because it gives us the sweet, the sour, and the salty taste that we all crave for. In fact, that's why we crave tomatoes as well, because the sweet and the sour tend to pacify pitta and vata dosha, and we tend to be more aggravated in those doshas in Western culture. So that's why it's a good thing in terms of just feeling good, something that we want to have. And we're trying to replicate that sour taste, but also to get that red color that we won't get just from the tamarind. But you don't want to add too many cranberries, because unlike other sour fruits like lime, for example, they are sour and then they remain sour in your physiology, which means that they are acidic, and long-term use or overuse can actually create acidity, and therefore you can have inflammation, so on and so forth. So just a few cranberries, maybe just this many. If you have more tamarind, you can add a few more, of course. And then we're going to put here some sugar. Actually, we're going to put the sugar at the end, not now, because we don't want to cook it so that it doesn't bind and caramelize. We'll put some mom's masala, shroto shuddhi masala, to give more of a flavor and to keep the channels open, a pinch of turmeric to enhance the color also, some soma salt, a little olive oil, and then we're going to put, if you like, you can add some fresh ginger, just a chunk. Like I said, we're going to filter it, so it will not matter if you put a big chunk of it. It doesn't have to be grated or anything. So we cut it in half, and then one Thai chili, for those of you who like it, and curry leaves to add a little more depth to the taste as well. And we will cook this. Put the whole thing in a pot with a little bit of water, and then mix it. You don't need to cook it for very long, just as long as the cranberries get soft and the color mixes in, and the tamarind will cook really fast, and the spices will be activated by the heat. So probably just for a few minutes, 10 minutes at the very most. The water that we also put will evaporate and be absorbed, so you have more of a paste kind of texture. So after you're done cooking it, at that point you can decide to filter it, or you can blend it first and filter it later. So let's just blend it at that point. At this point, you can use a little food mixer like this one. Put everything in, including the curry leaves and the ginger. They will not be fully reduced, but it doesn't matter. We can add just a little bit of water here. So now that everything is blended in, and the tamarind is definitely all mixed in, I'm going to filter it. So you'll get a sieve with big holes, not the ones that are like the tea filters, strainers. And then so you capture all the ginger, the curry leaves, the chilies, and any other fiber that's left over from the cranberries as well as from the tamarind. So once you've filtered it, actually, this is what we got here. In the other batch that I made, I had a little more cranberries, a few more cranberries, and at this point you add the sugar based on the recipe proportions. You mix it in nicely. You can blend it again if you'd like to make sure that everything is well mixed, and then this is your ketchup. It's made. So now what we're going to do is we're going to serve it Here are my fries. And we'll put some ketchup here. So this is the homemade ketchup, just like that, to enjoy. But, so this is what you can make at home. But Vaidya Mishra has also made a better enhanced version of the Ayurvedic ketchup, and he's not disclosing the secrets of his recipe, but as you can see, it looks even more authentic than my ketchup, and I'm quite mad at him for that. No, but this is actually going to be available as well for those of you who don't have time to make your own ketchup. But there is a bigger, much better advantage to having this ketchup also, and that's why we cannot make this version of the recipe at home. This is made with tamarind and with wild amla. Remember how I was saying that the cranberries are sour? They give us the color and the sour taste that we are looking for, but the after effect of their digestion is acidic, which is not so desirable. It's okay to have once in a while occasionally, but this ketchup is actually going to be therapeutic. It's going to have medicinal properties that are balancing for the mind, the heart, and the physiology. This is also going to be a rasayana that gives us not only very much needed vitamin C, but that gives us so many other healing properties. Vaidya Mishra just recorded a YouTube video on amla. Make sure you listen to it or read his article. Wild amla specifically, and amla in general, is just one of the gifts that Ayurveda has for us. So this ketchup, you will enjoy it. The color, the texture, the taste, I can guarantee you, are really even tastier than the one you grew up with. And plus you will get the benefit of all the medicinal properties. And we will be sending out this as a sample gift for all of you who will call in or email us or place an order online and request the sample of their ketchup. And we welcome your suggestions for the SVA recipe. We're thinking about calling it Catch On, but that name might not catch on so easily. So please send us your suggestions, and send us also your feedback. Let us know how you liked it and whether you think it's better or it still needs some work. So we'll let Vaidya know to keep his R&D going. So here we go. I'm just going to try this. Fantastic. See you.